Have you ever had a friend ask why you believe in the Bible, since science supposedly contradicts it? In these videos, we'll discuss the fact that science actually does not contradict the Bible, and 6 areas in which the Bible's account makes more sense scientifically than the mainstream scientific view. So let's first think about the definitions. What is science? There's 2 types of science. The first type is operational science, also called observational science or experimental science. And the second type is historical science, also called origins science. Both types are important. Both types fit very well with the Bible and with belief in God. Observational science involves repeated testing and experiments, the scientific method, learning the general patterns or rules of how the world works. Disciplines like physics or chemistry or medicine are examples of observational science. When people talk about science being falsifiable and repeatable and hypothesis-based, this is typically the type of science they're talking about. By contrast, historical science involves inferring the most likely explanation for non-repeatable past events based on evidence we find today in the present. Archaeology or forensic reconstruction or radioisotope dating would be examples of historical science. Most areas of science fit equally well with either Christian or secular hypotheses. In a moment, I'll share several areas where I think the biblical Christian viewpoint fits the evidence better. By the way, does observational science rule out miracles? No, it doesn't. For example, the Bible shares historical accounts that Jesus rose from the dead. Suppose we have a very solid body of medical evidence showing that people do not rise from the dead, as a general pattern or rule. When the heart stops beating, depending on the temperature of the brain, after a couple hours have passed, medical science says that it's impossible to resuscitate someone back to life. We don't see that happening. That's fine. That summarizes our observations of the general pattern of how the world works. In general, people don't rise from the dead. But if God is real, the Creator who originally spoke the universe into existence, then He could easily intervene into our world and raise someone from the dead if He wanted to. The Bible encourages scientific exploration. For example, God told the first humans in the Garden of Eden to rule over the earth, and that dominion implies the need to study and understand how the world works. As we learn more about the details of how the world works, it points us to worship the Creator. Psalm 19 says, "The heavens tell of the glory of God," and Romans 1 says that God's eternal power and divine nature can be understood through what has been made. It is interesting that many of the pioneers of science were Christians: Newton, Kepler, Pascal, etc. So the 3 biggest reasons why I believe in biblical Christianity instead of atheism are that the Bible's explanation makes more sense to me in the areas of origins, morality, and Jesus' resurrection. In the next videos, we'll look more at origins, which is closely connected with science.